Hello, we are back with one more video on integration on the topic further indefinite integration. So today we'll be discussing about one of the important property, or you can say application, which will help us to integrate complicated functions easily. So we'll observe two things over here. One is the direct formula, and the second way how we means how why we are using that direct formula, means application of that part, how we came up to that result. Okay, so let's start with that. Basically, let's suppose if we have something, means a differentiation of a function, means if differentiation of a function is f dash x. Okay, we know this idea. Then integration of fx should be equals to fx plus c. Okay, so now to build on this idea, let's take an example. We start with this. Let's suppose uh, this is example 1, that differentiate, show that basically differentiation of 3x square minus 4 to the power 8 is equals to 48x 3x square minus 4 to the power 7. This we have to show. Okay, now we know how to use chain rule over here. Now whenever we are using chain rule, means whenever we are applying chain rule, so the first idea is always to solve the outer bracket first. So if we start now over here, we'll apply the power rule. So now this would be 8 3x square minus 4 8 minus 1. Fine. Now the outer bracket is done. Now the inside function. Now if you solve this inside function, if you differentiate this inside function, what we'll get is 6x. So now once you write down this in, now if you simplify it further, what we'll get is 48x 3x square minus 4 to the power 7, which is c. Okay, now integration of this function, means integration of this part should be this. Yes or no? Okay, let's check it out. Let's check it out. How we'll do that? Now, over here, the interesting thing come over here is, now if you start integrating 48x, okay, 3x square minus 4 to the power 7 dx. Now, one way of doing integration would be, means we don't know any kind of rule. Just like in differentiation, we know there is a product rule. Differentiating two functions, means v and u or u and v. So there is a product rule. What we do is we'll differentiate first function first, keep as it is, plus now v as it is, differentiation of u. So till now we have not discussed any rule in integration, that we can assume this is our first function, this is our second function, and we integrate it accordingly. Okay, now over here, if I observe, let's suppose if I consider this as my function, this whole 3x square minus 4 as my function. So let's suppose if I consider, okay, 3x square minus 4 is my function, that is new function. If I name it as d, t or u, whatever you want. Okay, for convenience what we do is we'll write down this as t. Okay, now I am assuming this as t. Okay, now if I have to integrate this function, now parameters are different. This is in terms of t, this is in terms of x, and the small change is also in terms of x. So if you are replacing something, means you have to replace all the parameters involved, means all the variables involved. Okay, so now over here, if I further differentiate this part, so I can write it down this with respect to x. So this would be 3 2x 0 and dt by dx, since I am differentiating this with respect to x. Okay, now can I write down this as 6x dx is equals to dt? Yes or no? Okay. Okay, now I will do a small manipulation over here, small manipulation. Can I write it down, this 48x, as this way: 8, then 6x, 3x square minus 4 to the power 7 dx? Yes or no? Now observe carefully, this part. Now this is our t. So can I write it down this as this way: integration of t to the power 7. Okay, now observe this part, that is 6 times x dx. Now this is 6 times x into dx. Can I replace this with dt? dt. Now we are left with 8. Now can we integrate this function with respect to t? 8 is a constant, we can keep it outside. Integration of t to the power 7 dt. So what would be integration of t to the power 7 dt? Integration t to the power 7 dt would be, that is t 7 plus 1 whole divided by 7 plus 1 plus c. Clear? Now if you simplify, this would be t to the power 8 plus c. Now what was our t? T was 3x square minus 4. So this is 3x square minus 4 to the power 8 plus c. Got it? So this is the function we started with. If you see, uh, yes, 3x square minus 4, 8. 3x square minus 4. Okay, so now what we have done over here is we have understood how to integrate an expression by using a method of substitution. Okay, clear with this idea? How we can do this part? Now let's look at one more example over here. Let's suppose first question over here is, first part in the question is differentiate x square minus 3x plus 5 to the power 6 with respect to x. Okay, now if we have to differentiate this function, we have to apply chain rule over here. So differentiation of this would be, first if you write it down, power comes in multiplication. Now this would be 6 minus 1, 5. Now inside bracket differentiation, that would be, sorry, 2x minus 3. Okay, 2x minus 3. Clear with this idea? Now let's suppose there is another question, that B part, find integration of 2x uh, minus 3 into 2 and x square minus 3x plus 5 to the power 5 dx. Okay, chalo. So now if you have to integrate this part, now over here, now every time we don't have to use that substitution method, sometimes you have to observe the given expressions carefully. Let's suppose if I consider this expression, this is if t, if this expression is t, so can I say this expression is dt? Yes or no? If this expression is t, can I say this expression is dt? Because if I consider x square minus 3x plus 5 as t, now if I differentiate this function with respect to t, sorry, x, will get 2x minus 3. Same. Now applying this logic, Now this 2 is a constant, so I'll keep it outside. Now let's suppose if this is my function, okay? Sorry, I'll write it down this way. If this is my function and this is f dash x dx. Okay, so whenever we have this kind of situation, whenever our fx is there and derivative of that function is also there, whatever function you are assuming, so what we can do is we can directly integrate this, nothing else to do. Okay, so integration of this would be 2 outside, this would be x square minus 3x plus 5 to the power 5 plus 1 whole divided by 5 plus 1 plus c. That's it. Now you can just simplify this part, x square minus 3x plus 5 to the power 6 upon 3 plus c. Clear? Okay, just to give you more clarity on this part, we can discuss one more question regarding the same. Okay, let's suppose if we have something this kind of expression, x5 plus 2x whole power 7 multiplied by 5x4 plus 2 dx. Now see, this is quite complicated function and we don't know any kind of rule which is involved, means product rule in integration till now. So how to solve, how to integrate this part? One way of doing it, that if you are very good, is you have to expand this term with using binomial expansion, then multiply the whole 8 terms, you will get 8 terms over here, multiply with this, so in total of 16 terms, then you can individually integrate each and every term. That's so good of you if you are able to do that part. Okay, now over here if I see, if I observe that if I consider this x to the power 5 plus 2x as my t, means now I can see if this function is t, now differentiation of this is over here, I can easily see. Now differentiation of x to the power 5 is 5x4 plus 2, it's over here. So simply what you have to do is consider this function as your t and integrate this part. So we know integration of t to the power 7 would be t to the power 7 plus 1 whole divided by 7 plus 1 plus c. So what we'll get is t to the power 8 whole divided by 8 plus c. Now simply what you have to write it down, you have to just write it down over here, that x to the power 5 2x to the power 8 whole divided by 8 plus c. This is your final answer, means integration of this. Now if we want to cross check this part, what we can do is we can differentiate this and check. So if we have x to the power 5 2x to the power 8 whole divided by 8 plus c. Now if we differentiate, 1 by 8 is constant, I can take it outside. Now applying the power rule, 8 x to the power 5 plus 2x, sorry 2x, 8 minus 1 7. Now chain rule, so multiplying chain rule, so this would be 5x to the power 4 plus 2. Now this is closed and differentiation of constant is 0. Clear? So differentiation of constant is 0. Now let's simplify this part. 8 and 8 gets cancelled. X to the power 5 plus 2x whole power 7 multiplied by 5x to the power 4 plus 2. Done. This is same. Clear? So just again to give you idea and clarity, that if we are integrating something where we have our function and we have derivative of that function and we are integrating it with respect to x, what we can do is we can directly integrate these functions and write it down fx plus c. Simple. Clear? So I hope you have clear idea on this part. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day.